back with another review, and today I'll be talking about and discussing 127 Hours with James Franco. And this is a film that I've seen before, and it was great to rewatch again. This is a great movie. You know, a very moving film and a very powerful story about survival. And directed by Danny Boyle. Now, prior to this, Danny Boyle directed Trainspotting, which is a film that I've heard about, never seen, but I would like to pick the film up. 28 Days Later, which is a film that I'll be checking out here sometime soon. Never seen the film, but I do have the film, so that will be a first-time watch. Sunshine. He also directed Slumdog Millionaire. And like I said, he directed this film, and he also had a hand in the screenplay. And it's based on the true story of this mountain climber, Aaron Ralston, played by James Franco. You know, one day he's trekking through Utah, and he's on this adventure. And long story short, he falls into this canyon, and this falling rock traps his arm. So his arm is wedged between this rock and the inside of this canyon. And from that point, our main character is trying to survive this situation. He's trying to break free, you know, from this rock, but his arm is stuck. And throughout the film, our main character at times would record himself with this little camera, you know, talk about his ordeal. And at times he would think about his parents and his life, the people that he's met. And, you know, there's even a scene where, you know, he thinks about having a son. So it's a very powerful, again, story about survival and, you know, trying to break free from this rock. And, you know, of course, as we know, you know, it leaves him no other option but to, you know, self-amputate. So he has to cut off his own arm to get out, and it's a very raw scene. It's rated R, so it doesn't hold back on, you know, that scene. And yeah, so that's the story pretty much. But like I said, 127 Hours. If you haven't seen the film, you know, definitely need to check it out. It's a great, you know, drama. James Franco, you know, as an actor, I do like, you know, the Spider-Man films. When I thinking about those, he's not the problem. You know, I was trying to think, like The Disaster Artist, I haven't seen, but I would like to see. I know that's based on The Making of the Room. I still haven't seen Pineapple Express, but, you know, James Franco, I do like as an actor, and, you know, he did a great job here. Really conveyed, you know, range, and, you know, great acting from James Franco. And I think he was nominated for a Golden Globe. I think he deserved more. I mean, definitely I would say my favorite James Franco performance, because at times you feel bad for the character and you really sympathize, you know, with this character, you know, being stuck and, you know, not able to get your arm free from this rock. And I can't imagine, you know, having your arm stuck and knowing that your arm is gone and you're stuck for what, 5 days, or yeah, it was like 5 days. And he's doing whatever it takes to survive with very little water, no food. And, you know, he's, like I said, he's a climber, so he's able to, you know, with this equipment and the harness, you know, he's sleeping like sitting up. And, you know, really no sleep at all because, you know, his arm is stuck. And, you know, at times he would imagine certain things and, you know, hallucinate. And again, think of his parents, which his father is played by Treat Williams. So it was cool to see him in the film. And like I said, there's even a scene where, you know, he thinks about having a son. And even in the beginning, there's these two women that he meets, you know, on his adventure. And he thinks about those women. I think this one girl. But like they're like, okay, we're having a party later, why don't you come on by? But he doesn't make it because of, you know, what happened. but he's thinking about the party. So, all these things that are going on in his life, he's thinking about, and, trying to get out and get help. And, the ending, it's very satisfying, and it's a very triumphant moment for our character. And you're like, yes, he got help, he was able to keep, to get out. And then, at the end of the film, that's where you get more information about the real life person. And from what I understand, he would do more, climbing. I mean, he would continue on to do more climbing and stuff like that. And, so, for a film that's based on a true story, to me, it was a very moving film. And James Franco really delivered here. It's a top-notch performance. Danny Boyle really brought a lot out of James Franco. For people that are skeptical about him as an actor, and those who haven't seen the film definitely need to check out the film, because James Franco can act. And he really showed it here. He really showcased that, he can be an actor, and he can really pull it off. And this was the right film. And he really, like I said, he really displayed that because of the situation, and also too, the landscape, looked beautiful. I mean, the Utah landscape, and, it's a really good score too. I don't know what else this person has done, A.R. Raymond, but I really enjoyed the score. It's a really beautiful score, and it really went, went well with the landscape, and it's a beautiful, beautifully shot film. And I have to give credit to Danny Boyle. He really did a great job, as far as the look of the film and making it look beautiful, and beautiful score. And it's a great direction by Danny Boyle. And what's funny was also kind of fucked up that when this film came out, there were some other people that went out to the same location, and one guy, he went down like 70 feet, and when he got down to 60 feet, he fell 10 feet and like broke his leg. And I actually have the information right here. Yeah, it says right here, 64-year-old man ventured to the same spot Ralston did, and he did without telling anyone, which the real life person, Aaron Ralston, did not tell anyone where he was going. So, again, a life lesson to be learned here. But the 60-year-old guy, he had, while 60 feet down a 70-foot deep ravine, he slipped and fell the last 10 feet to the bottom. During the fall, he dislocated his shoulder, bumped his head on a rock, and broke his leg. It took the man 4 days to crawl out of the ravine, and by the time the park rangers found him, he had already finished all of his water. In the end, it was the collective dumbness of, 127 Hours fans that saved the man. The park rangers at the Blue John Canyon realized that the man was missing because they were used to the influx of hiking enthusiasts to the canyon since 127 Hours was released. In fact, since 2005, Ralston's biography came out in 2004, more than 24 rescues have been performed in the same area. So, yeah, that happened. So the guy shouldn't have went up there. I mean, I don't know what to say about that guy. I mean, he should have learned. I mean, you should have told somebody, and should have never went out there. I mean, that guy is a dumbass. But anyways, yeah, I mean, even aside from that, I mean, like I said, it's a great movie with a top-notch performance by James Franco, and again, the scene where he has to amputate, cut off his own arm. It's a very raw scene, and apparently people were, passing out while watching that scene and fainting. But yeah, if you haven't seen the film, definitely give it a watch. Excuse me. Definitely give it a watch. 127 hours, if I can talk right. 127 hours. Again, it's a very moving film, powerful story, and yeah, definitely I would say in regards to, modern day dramas, films like this type, I would say it's one of my favorites, survival stories. So yeah, definitely check out 127 Hours if you haven't seen it, but that's my review of 127 Hours. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the next review.